Okay, here we are again, back for another 2 chapters of the Magic Treehouse. Remember, we're working on our tools for understanding our books. We can't just read the words and not think, right? We always have to be thinking about what we're reading. So as we're reading, we always have to stop and check to make sure that we're getting it. If you're ever reading and you're like, man, I don't even know what I'm reading, I don't get it. Or if you space out, that's a good clue, like, oh, let me go back and reread it to make sure I get it. And if I don't get it, it might be a little too hard of a book to read, but we can keep trying and trying. So as we're reading, make a movie to picture what's happening. You can just get cozy and listen, or you can draw that picture of what's going on as I read it, or you can even be working on that comic strip of what I'm reading as I read it. Okay, well, here we go. We are on chapter 7. Oh, this is a really important picture. Go ahead and talk about what was the big clue that Annie and Jack found out here. They discovered something real big. What was that? Let's see if our friend Rocco. Hey, Rocco. Oh, hello, Miss Lavecchio. Rocco, do you remember what this big idea was here? Oh, yeah. Annie saw that the island was shaped like a whale, and the big clue was that the gold is beneath the whale's eye. So I think that they gotta go dig under that rock right there. Right there? Yeah, right there. To get the gold. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, here we go. Chapter 7. So the treasure must be under that rock, said Annie. Right, said Jack. Now we just have to get back to the island. We'll show Captain Bones where the treasure is. Then while all the pirates are digging, we'll sneak up to the treehouse and make a wish to go home, said Annie. Right. Jack poked his head out of the round window of the cabin. Captain Bones, sir. Oops, let me reread that. Captain Bones, sir, he shouted. The pirates took up the cry. Captain Bones! Captain Bones! Hey? Came a horrible voice. Captain Bones stuck his ugly face through the window. His good eye glared at Jack. What do you want, lubbers? We're ready to tell you the truth, sir, said Jack. Go ahead, growled Captain Bones. We know where Captain Kidd's treasure is. Where? We can't just tell you. We have to show you, said Annie. Captain Bones gave Annie and Jack a long, hard look. You'll need a rope, said Jack. And shovels, said Annie. Captain Bones growled. Then he roared at his men. Get some rope and shovels. Aye, aye, Captain. Then throw these lubbers in the boat. We're going back to the island. Aye, aye, Captain. Back in the rowboat, Jack saw that the sky had grown even darker with clouds. The waves were bigger, the wind was howling. Gales a-blowin', said Pinky. You'll see a gale if I don't get me gold today, by thunder, Captain Bones shouted. Row, dogs, row! The 3 pirates battled the waves until the rowboat reached the island. They all piled onto the shore. Captain Bones grabbed Jack and Annie. Okay, lubbers, he said. Now show us where the treasure is. There, said Annie. She pointed at the black rock near the tip of the island. Under that rock, said Jack. Captain Bones dragged Jack and Annie down the beach to the black rock. Get to work, Captain Bones said to Pinky and Stinky. What about you? Said Annie. Me? Work? Captain Bones chuckled. Ha ha ha! Jack gulped. How could they get away from him? Don't you think you should help your friends? He said. Captain Bones gave Jack a horrible sight. a horrible grin. Nay, I'm going to hold you two till there's treasure in me hands. Ooh. Rocco, what did you think about that chapter? I do not think that the Captain Bones is a very respectful person. He's actually kind of mean, and I would not give him any marvelous Mustangs for a terrific Thursday. He needs a good lesson in kindness. That is very true, Rocco. I agree. Well, we're going to read one more chapter, but before we do that, just do a little quick retell of what happened in that chapter, or act it out, just to really make sure you got it. If you don't remember, or if it's confusing, it's okay to push rewind and listen to the chapter again. That's always okay. And then make your prediction, make your educated guess about what's going to happen next. Think about what's been going on in the story. And then use that to make a good guess about what would make sense for the next part of the story. We'll give you a clue. The next chapter is called Dig, Dogs, Dig. Chapters can be good clues as to what, or the chapter titles are good clues as to what the next chapter will be about. Okay, here we go. Chapter 8. Dig, Dogs, Dig. Pinky and Stinky tied their rope around the big rock. The wind howled. The two pirates pulled and pulled and pulled. They need help, said Jack. Arr, let the dogs do the work, growled Captain Bones. You're not very nice to them, said Annie. Who cares? Roared Captain Bones. Captain, we've got it, shouted Pinky. Ooh. They started pulling the rock across the sand. Now, let's dig where the rock was, said Jack. All of us. But Captain Bones ignored his suggestions. Dig, you dogs, he shouted. Pinky and Stinky started to dig. The wind blew even harder. There was going to be a thunderstorm. Ow! I got sand in me eye, Pinky whined. Ow! Me back hurts, Stinky cried. Dig! Shouted Captain Bones. He held Jack and Annie with one hand. With the other, he pulled out the gold medallion. He tossed it at the two pirates. It fell into the hole. Dig for more of these, you swine, he said. Squawk! Look, Annie said. Polly was back. She was circling above them. Go back, she squawked. Stinky and Pinky looked up at the parrot. They scowled. Dig, shouted Captain Bones. A big storm is coming, Captain, said Pinky. Go back, said Polly. Oh, the bird's an omen, Captain, shouted Stinky. Dig, you dogs, cried Captain Bones. Go back. The bird's warning us, shouted Pinky. We've got to get to the ship before it's too late. The two pirates threw down their shovels. They started running towards the rowboat. Mutineers! Come back, shouted Captain Bones. He dragged Jack and Annie down the beach as he ran after his men. Stop! But the pirates kept running. They got to the rowboat and pushed it into the sea. Wait! Cried Captain Bones. Pinky and Stinky jumped into the boat. They started rowing. Wait! Captain Bones let go of Jack and Annie. He ran into the water. Wait, ye dogs! He hauled himself into the rowboat. Then the three pirates disappeared into the spray of the waves. Go back, squawked Polly. She means us, said Annie. Just then, the storm broke over the island. The wind howled. Rain fell in buckets. Let's go, cried Annie. Wait, I have to get the medallion, shouted Jack. He ran to the hole dug by the pirates. He looked down. Even in the dreary light, the medallion was shining. Big, fat raindrops were falling into the hole. washing away the sand. Jack saw a patch of wood. Then the rain cleared away more sand, and Jack saw the top of an old trunk. He stared. Was it Captain Kidd's treasure chest? "Hurry, Jack!" cried Annie. She was halfway up the treehouse ladder. "I found it! I found it!" cried Jack. "I found the treasure chest!" "Forget the treasure chest, Jack," said Annie. "We have to go now. The storm's getting worse." Jack kept staring at the chest. Was there gold inside? Silver? Precious gems? "Come on!" Now Annie was shouting from the treehouse, but Jack couldn't tear himself away. He brushed the rest of the muddy sand off the chest. "Jack, forget the treasure chest!" cried Annie. "Let's go!" "Go back," squawked Polly. Jack looked at the parrot. She was perched on the black rock. He stared into her eyes. He thought he knew her from somewhere else. "Go back, Jack," she said. She sounded like a person. Okay, it was definitely time to go. Jack took one last look at the treasure chest. He clutched the gold medallion. Then he took off, running toward the treehouse. His socks and rain boots were still there. He quickly pulled the boots on. He shoved the socks into his backpack. The rope ladder was dancing wildly in the wind. Jack grabbed it. The ladder swayed as Jack climbed.